All right, hello everyone. I'm Ratman Horatio. We're doing more Elden Ring today, and I've done something. I have full disclosure done something. And from a very brief test I did, that something seems to have worked. We will, however, have to get started proper in order to see if the changes made hold. Now, to completely cut to the point and to stop being cryptic, I added a text file to my Elden Ring folder, and I now have to launch Elden Ring through a shortcut. What does this do? It disables the anti-cheat entirely. Now, will fully disabled anti-cheat make the game run better? From my brief testing, yes, I gained like 20 FPS. It's a little absurd. Easy anti-cheat apparently was tanking my frame rate. Oh, right, I was standing up here and I tried to fast travel away and then the game crashed. Right. We also learned that there's nothing on that tower. There's no reason to go up there. Now, it is worth mentioning that if you do what I did and find the Steam guide with instructions on how to disable easy anti-cheat, you have to play in offline mode, which is fine with me. This is my first playthrough. I'd hate for it to be ruined by oh so common PC hacker. Hacker man. But if you're just doing solo play, hey, it works. Alright, so there's some pests right out the gate, and that's where we jumped before. We are going to go ahead and clear out the skeletons that attack us so that we have breathing room for those pests, because pests suck. I hate dealing with them. You know, I didn't take a hit there, and I'm genuinely surprised. Okay, we wanna sidestep, we wanna get around. Not necessarily to their backs, but just out of their field of view. Nice and close. Perfect. Church of the Plague. There's... what was her name? Millicent?
Who's there? Well, it matters not. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. It is a curse. Not to be meddled with by man.
Very compelling. Here's an unalloyed gold needle.
You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot.
Perhaps.
But how?
Old man told me.
Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind averting your eyes for a moment?
Oh. I didn't expect the cut to black.
Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so...
Hmm. Sacred Tear, that's upgrade for healing. I'm gonna go ahead and collect all these sacramental buds because why not? Alright, so I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here now. So I'm going to do a classic, and I'm just going to force the game into a state of reset by fast traveling to the point that I'm already at. Ah, she's looking much better.
I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this, by way of thanks. A token though it is.
Prosthesis wearer heirloom.
I'm considering leaving with the needle buried in my flesh. I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny. It's all thanks to you. My name is Millicent. I pray fate permits us meet again.
Okay.
I'm considering leave the needle buried in my destiny.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to your dad. Take a look at that emblem. We already have Star Scourge, which was from Radon, and now we have this. Oh, it raises dexterity. Well, that's worthless to me. I'm not a dex build. But, it's nice to help someone. We want to go back to that sage. And believe it or not, I think the fastest way is by jumping off that cliff. I think I can weasel my way down. Poor horse. Oh no, those aren't bats. Those are the hags. This has become a difficult situation. We are going to ignore them. We're going to pretend they don't exist. Why? Because I don't have a good way of dealing with the hags. The clouds of poison they throw are very, very large, and I don't have the most resistance to poison. Some gold runes. Good. There's a tower there. Is it a teleporting tower or a normal tower? Let's find out. I still want to go down there and talk to, the old man who gave me the unalloyed gold needle, but... That's a Bloodhound Knight. Ah, yes, poise that I didn't deserve. It's wonderful. Eternal darkness. Sounds edgy. I don't think there's a way up there. Torrent might have hops, but I don't think he's got that many. Hey, Exali, how you doing? You're doing good. That's good to hear. I'm okay. I've got some coffee mixed with hot chocolate. Not a word about my poor vision. But yes, I've got caffeinated drink and I am at ease. What is today's mission? Today's mission was help Millicent, which we've done, and now we're trying to get down to talk to her father to see if he has any new dialogue. I also intend on going back to Round Table to see if anything's happened there. It was that mage who was looking like he was in bad shape, so I kind of want to check in on him. There's D. Insert the rest of the joke at your leisure. There's also Hugh, and I forget her name, who does the thing with the spirits, but it should be fine. Nefeli should be there, but she might not be.
Thank you kindly for giving the needle to Millicent. Now she too can begin her journey and stare her fate straight in the eye. You've been a saint through and through. As thanks, I vow to impart to you my knowledge.
Didn't you call me Ilk when we first met?
Sorcerers of the Celians, descendants of the Eternal.
I don't need your magic. I can't use it anyways. Night Maiden's Mist. I know you could, Exile, but, no. Cavemen all used magic, fact. Hold on. So, I have an Ash of War that I've been debating whether or not I can justifiably use, and that Ash of War is the poison one. Grants affinities and skills to an armament. It does poison things, and it's just like, can I justify using this? Can I justify saying, look, in-game, it doesn't matter what's going on, but in the character canon, I'm simply smearing poo on my club. Can I get away with that? And the answer is no.
Make certain that little Millicent goes unharmed. Like her mother, she has the stuff to be a great warrior, but commands only one arm and is yet preciously young.
Alright, so he's got glintstone stars. That spell has been giving me problems as I've been moving through this village. Fires 3 magic shooting stars that pursue the target. The sorcery can be cast while in motion. Charging enhances potency. Night Shard. Swiftly fires a semi-invisible projectile. This sorcery can be used without delay after performing another action. And I don't know what this is. One of the night sorceries of Celia, Town of Sorcery. Release a life-sapping silver mist before the caster, dealing damage to all caught within, including the caster. This sorcery can be cast while in motion. Below Celia, the eternal city of Nokron sleeps. This sorcery originates from the maidens of that place. Oh, so Nokron's beneath this place, is it? I was trying to find my way to Nokron. So, is there a, Is there an elevator? Because magic elevators were a really big thing we've been running into when traversing between the above ground and the below. Remember what I said about struggling with magic? That's what I meant. This isn't where I wanted to go. I am stupid. I am the dumbs. I wanted to come down here. Hey, look, I intentionally went the wrong way. I was leading the enemies to the wrong path. They'd path incorrectly. But, yeah, Ashes of War, Large Club. Like, Barbaric Roar is absolutely fine. Wild Strike's absolutely fine. Poison Mist, less so. I can still just slap heavy on there. But, like... You what? I'll be honest, that doesn't look super magical, but it does scale with arcane, so it's very much not in my best interest. Oh yeah, this one up. I picked this one up last stream. It's the Artorias. Oh, that's great. That is the Artorias Slam. Oh, I love it. Not effective, but I love it all the same. Just a little bit of sorting going on. Don't worry, this won't take long. Dropping off the stuff I've collected up to this point. Okay, we don't need Lion's Claw, we don't need Double Slash, or Gravitas, or Ring of Light. I'm really tempted, okay? For now, I'm gonna hold off on it. Like, I like the idea of it, but we're not going to. We found the Wakazashi last stream, the Regalia last stream. We earned the Nox Flowing Sword. We got the Glaive, which... I don't think that's a glaive. Weapon comprised of a sharp blade affixed to a long grip. It is in fact a sickle, repurposed to be a tool of war. Then why call it a glaive? Why not call it a war sickle? Or the peasant spear? This far-reaching weapon excels at slashing attacks. You don't say. Commander Standard, we got that for killing O'Neill. I don't know how Stargate will ever recover. A guitar. We're still working on upgrading the brick hammer. And you know what? We're gonna head back and do it now. I know I could use the list of lost graces and go there very quickly, but I don't know. Let's see.
Ah, well then. May the golden...
He's got nothing new. Hey, D.
Hello there.
Nope, D ain't got nothing. What about the, mage up here? You good? He's not doing well. Alright, Gideon's over here. Gideon Offner. He's still just...
You. What is it?
What's your problem? Nala, Morgoth, Rykard, Radon, Godric, and Ensha. No idea who Ensha is. I don't remember that name. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Merchant, who I've already purchased out the store of things I want, that is. Hugh is still doing Hugh things. Let myself be held.
Would you like the blessing? Would you like... Now.
I always hate doing this because the animation is really, really long. Why am I doing this? For dialogue. All I want is to know if there's any more dialogue.
You asked, then good day.
Okay, there's still no new dialogue. Fantastic. I hate that it gave me speak secretly once. It allowed me to speak secretly with her once earlier, so now I just have to come back every now and again and check to see, can I do it again? Because as far as I'm aware, there's no tell for it.
Are you here for spirit?
Spirit tuning. Okay, the wolves are still the wolves. Nothing I can do about that right now. Greetings, Hugh.
I took you no matter, it's lay out your arm.
Okay, so this needs smithing stone 6s. That needs smithing stone 5. They are very close. Oh, I got a staff at some point. I think I picked that up in one of the previous places. Alright, let's not get super distracted looking at weapons. Push for duplication. I want to duplicate Barbaric Roar because it makes me happy? Question mark? Okay, so if we give it the standard, which doesn't change anything, it will keep the damage the same. It'll take it up to A and give us plus 220 compared to 275. It reduces the guard boost by 3. Yeah, so we're going to want to do this for now. Right now, the Heavy Large Club has slightly better scaling, despite it being both being A, so... You're not convinced? I'm just doing it for the dialogue. Well, you got me. It's been a while since I've been held by anybody. But actually... I'd probably, like, unabashedly do it if it wasn't for the fact that there was a really long animation whenever it's done and you have to wait to get up. Oh, that's a helmet. Disturbing. Blue scare born directly on the head. These scarabs roll clumps of cerulean tears during their labors. Slightly increases the recovery effect of the flask of cerulean tears, but increases damage taken. That's worthless to me. Get rid of the militia gauntlets because we don't need them. They're boots. That bit sucks balls. It's kind of like, I really enjoy hunting and fishing in Red Dead Redemption 2, but the animations, oh my god, the amount of animation the amount of time that just stacks. Like skinning a deer and then moving the skinned body onto the back horse. Like no time at all. Skinning 3 deer and moving the body of a horse, of the deer to the back of the horse. It adds up. I do believe there's a raid inbound. I'll believe it when I see it. Righto, so we'll do some quick inventory stuff yet again. Yes, I apologize, but I had more stuff in my inventory than I thought. Those get to stay. Lusat's Glintstone Staff, Staff of the Primeval Glintstone Sorcerer, Lusat. I can't be bothered to read the rest. It's all magical nonsense that I can't use. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to keep the Spiral Horn Shield because that fits the Neanderthal aesthetic I'm going for. As it is literally just wood and antlers formed together. That would be usable. The bug would also be usable, but I don't need the FP. Alright, so Green Turtle Talisman. No, I don't think so. Erdtree's Favor. It's really good. Unfortunately, I already have something that increases strength, so I'm stacking right now. I probably should have equipped this while dealing with all the magic nonsense, but hindsight is 20/20. We're gonna hold on to the immunizing horn charm in case we have need of it. Alright, we're done here. Zoom out. And... Alright, so we've explored... I feel we've explored a very good portion of the map that we have discovered already. We can keep looking around Caelid. Because we got sidetracked very hard in Celia Tower of Sorcery. I think I've missed a Lost Grace or two down in this area, so I feel kind of compelled to go down that area. Ah. I see. It's Lord. Welcome, Raiders. Hey, Lord, how you doing? I stopped in your stream. How may I have my coffee? I've got coffee mixed with hot chocolate, and it is good. Ah, Nyx is here as well. Yep. How's Elden Ring going? I helped Millicent, and now I'm just exploring Caelid. They're called mocha in my country. I don't know what it's called. It's called I had dry hot chocolate powder and I was making coffee and I didn't have any sugar on hand, so I'm just like, why not? So hot cocoa mix, just with coffee because I lacked any form of sweetener. There's one of those star shards. I mean, it's better now that you're here, Lord. Yes, we do the bonk. You missed it earlier. I was deciding whether or not I could justifiably use the poison mist Ash of War and say, look, I've been wiping with this club, and that is the excess. Mostly to just change things up a little bit, since I've been rocking just full heavy for so long. We all wipe with the club. When did you... I didn't know you were Italian. We're making lunch. Well. I hope you didn't intend on having some fudge with that lunch, otherwise your appetite's good and spoiled. Ah, yes. Yes, Trigger's in here today as well. Always good to see Trigger. It's always good to see all of you. Okay, I haven't been here yet. This is another dragon church. Ah, I've been using the one in the deep south. That sounds very wrong, but I think everyone gets the picture. You lurk a lot, you've been watching me suffer. Well, You never announce your presence, so I never know you're here. Ah, yes, very classy. Do as you like, I have no control over you. Alright, that... Oh! Oh, that's... Those are giant heads. Why are there giant, mushroomy giant heads? I was over there climbing on those trying to get up to the troll that was up there. Well. Oh, is that what most of those are? Just giant heads covered in fungus. A fungus among us. You never noticed they were heads. I was climbing on them and I didn't notice. I guess it's one of those things where I missed the head for the shroom. I feel like there's somewhere, like, in this area, somewhere, whereabouts around there, is a lost grace. So I'm gonna go over there and I'm going to see if I can find one. We're just gonna casually go past this merchant, maybe stop to see if he has anything. I don't think he does. Would have bought it already, but... Alright, Chad, I need you to help me out here. Keep an eye out for gold tendrils wafting through the air. I see the marionettes. Little puppet things. Is it still Nyx? It's still Nyx. Of course it's Nyx. Ah, there it is. I mean, who else would it be? Alright, so that's this area filled in a bit more. What? Was that a giant bird just poorly rendered? That's not a bird. What the fuck? Oh, that is a bird. That's a death bird. What are you doing here? You attack so slowly. Going Tohu mode. The camera. I blame the camera. These are always fun when you spot them. I mean, I feel like part of the issue is that I need to aim for the body, and can I even do that? Also, it's not there because I'm at the wrong time of day now. Alright, so we need to sit back down at this. We need to change the time of day. It is currently morning, so we'll skip to nightfall. Now, it's worth mentioning that whenever you skip to nightfall or change the time like this, it actually spawned it. Well, that's egg on my face. I was about to say that I'd have to fast travel to the point that I was already at in order to get it to respawn. I was mistaken, because that's what happens with NPC progressions in some invasions, but I guess it doesn't happen with this thing. Oh, I pressed down on my D-pad expecting it to make me drink because my mind is still a little bit in Sekiro mode. It's been 11 days, and my mind was just like, remember the Sekiro key combinations? Remember those? Remember how you got through Sekiro? Do it again. Yes, I die a lot. This is Elden Ring, and I have, what, like 20 vigor? I have 25 vigor thanks to the Sore Seal, which makes things worse. Yeah, hold on. What is my defenses right now? Ah, yes. The only thing that's in the positive is fire resistance. You need to get back to this game. Well. Oh, I can lock onto its body. It's just not the section of its body I would like. Is Ununite in this? No Sigmire, Siglindas, Sigwards. No proud knights of Katarina. Oh, right. Wrong time of day. God damn it. Past time. Nightfall once again. Alright, whenever I get over there, I need to quickly dismount from Torrent in order to actually engage on foot, because that's what I'm good with. I swear that fire spreads borderline randomly. Why can the fire spread backwards? That wasn't an issue before, but it is an issue now. Oh, I took a hit at some point and I didn't realize I took a hit. Oh, I hate it when that happens. When did I get hit there? I wasn't at full health, so that's why I didn't survive a hit. Was it that swing that I tried to dodge out of the way from while on Torrent's back? I also forgot to change. I have to say, this is a minor problem with having time-based enemies and bosses that just pop up in the field. Just before I died. No, I mean, if I had been at full health, I would have survived that hit, because I'd survived that kind of hit before. one point before that, I took a hit, so I wasn't at full health, so I died. That, or there was some weird instability damage fuckery going on, and... Look, I get that that's a neat mechanic, and it should work on things like spears and rapiers where it makes sense. Like that, I was at half health. There was no feedback for that hit I took. I just was at half health. Oh, that fire does fuckloads of damage. I expected it to not be that high. The screams are so funny. Yes. Mostly because they don't really match the character. If those are the screams you're referring to. Alright, note to self, the AoE fire isn't the kind of fire that tickles you and applies a status effect. It is the burn you alive kind of fire. Good to know. You just burned yourself too. What was the point of learning anything about that? Like, oh, the fire hurts. Alright, I'm just gonna get it immediately into the stun state and poise break it. And, it's dead. Is the way the Elden Ring shatters. Sometimes you need to learn about the enemy, other times you actually get your combo off and it dies immediately. What did you do differently? I don't know. Larry wasn't minding his own business, and now he's dead. Alright, so he dropped, what, the Death Poker? Death's Poker, not the Death Poker, Death's Poker. Barbed rod carried by death birds. The birds are graveyard fire keepers. If you say so, game. It is said they rake out the ashen remains of the dead from their kilns. No, I don't think so. False. I'm gonna have to go with false. That is some controversial and incredibly hot takes, Nix. The Death Bird will be missed unlike the Onion Knight. Alright, Lord. Another one. Oh, he's overtuned to fuck. Alright. You're not at Godric. Well, that's good. Alright, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the enemies are a little bit more scaled to you. Other times you hit for 300 damage. Ooh, lordy. Oh, you're now at Godric. Alright, that's good to hear. I hope you get him. Ash of War Sky Shot. That'd be great for the bow that I don't really use. Why must I be getting a phone call? One moment. right. So have I ever mentioned that I hate how far the aggro range on some enemies has become? Not only did that golem see me, I was apparently within range. Alright, we're gonna take a crack at the fake PvP again. You know, I say that, but we're actually gonna do something else real quick. Alright, I know I've said that the, that I didn't want to use the poison Ash of War because that was pushing it a little bit, but I'm gonna try to use that here. Because it's simple enough, I guess. Like, it doesn't seem super magical. Maybe it's just spores that have grown on the club, you know? Welcome back, Lord. I'm gonna be trying the fake PvP again, but this time I'm poisoning my club. I'm also curious to see how it works against the giants that are here. Well, to be honest, like, the big part with the fake PvP, and in part why I'm going to be attempting it, is that I'm curious to see if I can cheese it out with poison. His legs just clipped all the way through the ground. I can't... I guess I don't get a riposte there. So, for the record, for people who don't know, the fake PvP that's up ahead, those NPC fights are quite literally twice my level. Allegedly. So, the three NPC invaders that are up here are all allegedly soul level 130, but they're NPC invaders in a FromSoft game, so they have hyper-inflated health. Which makes it, you know, they have more than would be physically possible for a human player. Oh, Smithing Stone 4, that's good to see. They can be an annoying fight as well. Well, part of the problem, TM, that I'm running into is these are the NPC fights. So they have the unlimited spell casts. They have unlimited FP. They don't have to worry about that. And from what I've read online, apparently if you're playing online, they will try to scale to your level via the build. Like, the builds they use will try to be to your level. But since I'm playing in offline mode, it's just... they're doing whatever. Alright, I don't have Barbaric Roar, but, he is going for that parry. He wanted it. I did poison him, so poisoning is on the table, just... he really wanted it, yeah. I did want it. And so did he. Alright, so poisoning is on the table, it's good to know. They're not immune to poison. So I think if I play like a complete coward, I can win. It's just, I'm going to dirty myself with this. And at the end of the day, do I care? Does winning the fake PvP via cheesy means make me feel better or worse about anything? be honest, I don't really know. Never feel bad for how I want to play. I'm not sure about that. Look, all I'm saying is that whoever the people are who write the IGN strategy guides should probably reassess how they play the game. Just a little bit. Oh, IGN, yeah, they should feel bad. Like, I'm not really here for the shaming of whoever does the stuff at IGN, but look, I've seen the guides for Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne, and I have some questions. I didn't look up the Elden Ring strategy guide, but I have pretty strong feelings about it. Their guides are so bad. I mean, their Demon Souls one wasn't exactly terrible. It's just they also did some very questionable things, like telling you to grind arrows when you really didn't need to, and waste a whole lot of souls on arrows when you really didn't need to. Can you please stop casting? Oh, good heavens. He's going to magic me. He's going to magic me so hard. He is once again poisoned. That jumping attack makes me nervous. The hit stun was so long I couldn't get away from it. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Wait, what happened to Exali? He died to a creature at the bottom of the keep? The giant Chimera-looking thing? With the blade on its arm, or... Because I died to that a bunch. It has significant mobility, and it is very painful to deal with. No! I don't actually need the strength right now, so a little bit of slow health regen will help, I promise, I swear. Alright, wait for the giant to fire the shot, and then we move in. Don't think I have enough time to close this properly, so... Yeah, I didn't have enough time. Right, very good. Alright, Nix. Have a good night. Hard to judge its attacks because its shape is weird. I have no idea what it is you're fighting, but I hope you overcome your trial. Alright, instead of fighting the mage, let's try fighting the knight, because I tried fighting the knight, and I failed last time, so we'll give it another go. Nick's doing one final one before the end. Oh, god damn it. Did he heal a bunch after hitting me with the, while I was dead? Oh, so he's got self-heal. That's icky. Let's not and say we didn't. Alright, so I'm not prepared enough for these guys yet. I could do full cheese and just poison them, wait the entire duration of the poison, and then try again, but let's not and say we didn't. Right now, this hammer has better damage for what I'm doing. I think it has better damage. Kind of, TM? There we are. Now to his ankles. Excuse me, what? Look, Ratman touches game. The game falls to pieces. I think I've said it before, so I'm going to say it again. I don't think they tested this area super well. Hear me out. I think they might have cut a couple corners whenever it came to testing out this area. Just a little bit. Just a tiny miniature smidge. Alright, we're not gonna do any more of the fake PvP here. We're gonna get our thing equipped again. tad bit. Just a smidge. Just a tiny miniature lick. Right. Ugh. Alright, so we cleared that. Got the mausoleums. Went to the ruined labyrinth. The Ansel River well is worthless to us. We've explored as much as we can, and there's nothing we can do here. As far as I'm aware, I've explored this place and I can't find a way either up or down. Nor can I access this bit, so... And those slopes are too extreme, so I'm guessing there's some other bit that I need to discover. We can go visit Bach. Speaking of Bach and odd random NPCs, where did what's-her-face go? The traveling finger maiden. I ran into her somewhere, I think at the Purified Ruins, but I don't know where she went after that. I should probably take a moment to explore the swamp as well. Oh, god damn it, there's so much to do. Right. Do I want you to find out? Nah. Like, sure, it would be helpful and it'd be like, oh yeah, now I know, but that would rob me of the experience of either finding out or missing out. Alright, Ash of War, we're gonna put back on our Barbaric Roar and switch it back to Heavy. You know what? We're gonna set the time to night real quick. Past time until nightfall. It's gonna be nighttime, and we're gonna see if anything magical spawns in the swamp at night. Now, in addition to just normally exploring the swamp area, I do want to pop over there. We did receive a note telling us that there was a meet-out place like here, and we will get to that when we get to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting down some markers. It's going to be some eye bleed for people who like orderly things, because my compass is going to be absolutely dotted with these. I'm gonna limit it to 5 for now. And yeah. I heard spooky music for a moment, and I thought for the briefest second, like, oh, am I getting jumped by one of the bosses again? And, no, it was just those guys in the background doing things. Alright, so this is around where we ran into Shabriri Grape Woman. I actually don't think I have any more Shabriri grapes. Put it in my Discord, slain you again. And as I was saying, we don't have any more Shabriri grapes. I don't have any more Shabriri grapes. But I do have a fingerprint grape. I don't know what it is, but I know that it exists. And by knowing that it exists, oh boy, there's a bunch of these little things. It must have a use. No, stop. It's at times like this I wish I had, I could use fire pots. We're just gonna disregard all that. Smithing stone too. Lovely. I've embarrassed myself by swinging and missing. Dear Lord, speakint. Reserve such words for your solo time. That's one of the crayfish things. I've gained access to the soft underbelly. Did I float? I did everything right, game. I did everything right. Why are you like this? Dead for the third time now. So, everything I touch breaks. Let that be known. So whatever that is just inaccessible. Wonderful. Fantastic. Glad to have been a part of it. Did I defeat Godric? Yes. Godric the Grafted? Strange man who does strange things with body parts? Smithing Stone 3. Which boss did I last defeat? Godric. I've been doing an uncomfortable amount of exploring because I've lost control of my life, and I'm making pudding at 3 a.m. Fourth death, you're getting worse. Take a deep breath, relax. Whatever you're dealing with right now, Exali, getting tense and concerned about whether or not you're going to lose runes or how many times you're going to die to a boss isn't going to help you. This game is all about exploring. I feel that. Oh no, not another flower. God, I hate those magic flowers. Oh, that one doesn't do, starfall magic. That one does directed fire. Let's not say we didn't. Well, that's very poisoned. Oh, you're on your first playthrough. 14 hours in and maybe 65% of the game done. How did you accomplish that? Hold on. I'm 42 hours in, and I have no idea how much of the game I have done. I've only killed Godric. I got lost in the exploring. Head over there next. And I wanna check out these islands afterwards. I'll start there and then head south and I guess wrap around the bottom side of Re Lucaria. I'm 10% of the way there, main boss-wise. I did receive a gigantic list of named bosses that I was supposed to kill from Sir Gideon Ofnir, but it was one of those, okay, here are their names, this is vaguely where they are, pitter-patter, get at her. And I then decided to not do that, and I explored Caelid instead, and that was a horrible mistake. Where does this go? King's Realm Ruins. I've been here before. I should explore this a lot more. What do you mean, explore this? The King's Ruin? The swamp? that particular tower. You don't want to spoil any bosses to me? Are you referring to the Bodhi boy that sometimes appears? Because I've killed that guy twice already and he keeps coming back. Has this guy been in this corner the entire time? Also, the wolves are doing wolf things. E.G., forgive me. The royal grounds were placed in our trust, but we stood no chance. E.G. is the War Master. Deep breath there, Exali. It'll be okay. And I already know about, what is it? The meeting place where apparently I get a token to get into Raya Lucaria, but I haven't gone there yet. Because, you know, looking around. Yeah, I have been here. There's no reason to continue to be here. Dear wizards up above, can I convince you to de-aggro so I can teleport? Fantastic. Oh yeah, that's War Counselor E.G. Oh yeah, now I remember this place. Okay. Well, that doesn't help. Alright, so if I... No, that takes me into the weird town thing. Guess I could head north from that. Yeah. You can grab the key, it's next to the Lucaria palace thingy. Where? Don't answer that, but... like, you get the point. It's the classic example of, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? I mean, the key, as far as I'm aware, is, like, around here. Because I received a map from a corpse that was near that doorway, saying, like, oh yeah, this is the meeting spot. I don't know if I can survive that fall. Let's not test. God damn it. I was gonna let him live. He chose death. Go explore that place then. I don't want to explore that place at the moment. I want to explore the rest of the swamp. I will get there eventually, just at this particular moment in time. I have tons of rooms. I don't think... do I have enough to level up? Yeah, I've got enough for a level. But I could continue to explore instead. I'll eventually find another site of grace and I can sit down and rub up there. Oh, not another one of you. Just died several times, one of you. Thank you, camera. Please stop spinning. Oh, okay. Well then. Do I want to bother trying to kill it again? Yeah, I do. God damn it. Well, at least I know death birds roll up in a black flame ball first, and then they do tons of damage. And I missed. Alright, acquire runes and then fight Deathbird once again. I made a calculated gamble. But boy am I bad at math. I'm very patient with exploring. It's one of those things where it's just like, alright, I've got to explore. Where am I going? I don't know. Time to backtrack a little bit. Oh, I found something new in this place I've already been. What is it? I got 3 weird half slabs? Yeah, I've got the Dectus medallion, and I've got half of the Halig Tree secret medallion. I don't know where the other half is, but it's somewhere. Hey, good job, Exali. Great work. You got a Prince of Death pustule for your effort? Well, that's wonderful. Ha! See, lost track. Oh, I didn't realize that that's what he was doing until the last possible moment. Ugh. Why does the fire on the ground put me in hit stun? Why? I can get him halfway, and then he does AoE, and it's just, oh, there's not a lot I can do about that. Well, time to die. Oh, Dutch. What intoxicating misery. Also, I suppose that, like, the question of, oh, what have I been doing this entire time? Just exploring this, wandering around, occasionally finding bosses that are, like, within the realm of possibility to kill, and then throwing myself against them until either they or I die. Nice hitbox, Birdo. There we go. What do I get for this? Ancient Death Rancor. Great, wonderful. I can't use it. Part of me regrets deciding I'm gonna pick Wretch, and I'm gonna unga bunga my way through this. I'm going to take the biggest stick I can find and thump the enemy out of existence. Horatio, put points into vigor. You are complaining about your survivability. No amount of vigor will save me at this point. Give me more strength. I desire power. I mean, let's be honest here. I am playing with a stick. I don't have a helmet. I don't have a shirt. I've got cloth and some leather. I'm rocking the Sore Seal. I'm doing myself no favors. I also have the health decrease from whatever it's called, the Aldekin's Blessing. Survivability non-existent. Damage looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good right about now. Alright, so now that we've been here and we've found the nonsense, let's go ahead and work our way over to where that meeting spot claims to be. We'll also reset the time so that it's nighttime proper. You've entered Godric's Hole. Which one? Are you sure it's his? He's grafted a lot of parts to himself. He's stroking a dragon. Look, there are a lot of euphemisms for self-service. Stroking the dragon has got to be a very pretentious way of saying it. Yes. That's what you say? But you're Welsh, so you're allowed to. Oh, Rune Bear. Ah, the Rune Bear shoulder check. hate that shoulder check. That shoulder check is a problem. Why? Because it hits me. That's never worth it. They never give anything I need or want. The big bastard bears just roll up on me, and it's just like, well, it's time to suffer. Oh, there's a graveyard here. I heard what sounded like a beetle shimmer or something. Oh god, it's another flower. Right. Iris looting. Hey look, I don't mind getting poisoned. My mind is missing out on loot. I swear, they shouldn't have even bothered putting a riposte state on half of the enemies with how fast they recover from it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm just trying to get around the flower to get that riposte that I earned through ungodly amounts of stagger. Sorry, it's recovered. Get off torrent. Smithing stones. I see you've got Godric to phase 2. Congratulations. Temple Quarter. I forgot that these guys have the weird cartwheel thing they do. The cursed, wretched flowers. Oh, he had an actual sword, not a club. Ah, danger close. Better luck next time, Exali. Yeah, let's sit. I know it's going to respawn the enemies and whatnot, but... Sorcery of the Servants of Death summons a horde of vengeful spirits that chase down foes. Charging enhances potency. They are cinders of the ancient death hex, raked from the fires of ghost flame by death birds. Wonderful. Well within acceptable margins. Right, sorry about that. Someone handed me something. Right. My cursor doesn't enjoy existing. Don't ask me why. We're just going to shove that into the corner and pretend it doesn't exist. What's with all the floating beetles? Nope, don't like it. Look, I'm a simple caveman. I unga and therefore bunga, and this is all some magical nonsense that I'm not getting behind. Like, I think part of the reason I stopped exploring here super early on is just like, okay, this is an entire area dedicated to magic. Fantastic, that doesn't help me. I'm a borderline Luddite, and I can't into sorcery. Although, fun fact, I can cast a couple spells. In theory. In practice, I can't because the restrictions of the run. Because I set arbitrary restrictions for my first run. For some reason. For the daggers, the hit range is about 3 inches. Man, every single melee weapon feels like it's got a hit range of about 3 inches. So, what are these strangely faced men? Creatures. Beings, entities. Ice Rind Hatchet. Well, that's useless to me. More land octopodes. Don't think killing the giant flower accomplishes anything, but I'm going to try to do it anyways. Oh, convenient. I happen to be in the right place, so I get the riposte I earned. Power of strong attacks. Do enemies that enter the stun state get like infinite posture for a moment after recovering from one? Did I time that wrong? Am I the problem? Am I? Well, we've already looked. We already grabbed that item that was being protected by the Mudmen. I guess we're heading north into the suspicious wilds. We're gonna sit down at this, this grate. I keep wanting to call them bonfires. That's not the right term for them, but my mind goes there anyways. I don't want to go into the bad medicine area, but into the bad medicine area we go. Why is there a co-op summon thing here? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Please don't have anything. Alright, so these guys probably don't have anything. But I can't be certain, so I'm gonna have to smash them all. What exactly is the point of this place? Oh, that's a dragon, and it's moving and it's breathing. Alright, so that's the point of this place. Good to know. Let's finish off these beetles and then maybe go take a swing at that dragon. You're so close, Exali. So close. And yet... no idea what kind of breath he's doing. Okay, normal breath. Good, I can work with this. Glintstone Dragon Smaragd. Oh, alright, instant death. Fantastic. Well, at least there's a site of grace nearby. Also, as far as I'm concerned, there is 0 point in going after these bugs. They just perish. God damn it. Why must you raise your head so high? Well, I think that was my worst showing so far. Look, I think the simple problem is that the dragon can read my inputs, but I can't read its. Oh, okay, it didn't roar this time. Oh, now it's oh, okay. I haven't seen that move before. It's a good learning experience. got a false sense of safety, considering the last, like, the first 2-3 times I did it. I've lost track of how many times I've died to it already, because I'm not really keeping track, but I had a false sense of security, assuming it would begin to roar right out the gate. I was mistaken. It did not, in fact, do that. I want to point out, I'm locked onto the foot. I'm locked onto his foot, and the camera isn't following where I'm locked on. And that is the most frustrating and enraging thing about this. It's just like, alright, I'm locked onto a part of him. I want to target this part, and the game is just like, you want to look at his other places? Right? You want to not look at the part you're locked onto, right? Is there a way around that other than just being very far away ahead of time? Or is that a vigor check? Please pick up my runes. You know what? I think we're going to take my runes and go elsewhere. The magic nonsense is a bit, You see, this is the problem with the early versions of the pattern-seeking brain. You look for the patterns that just aren't there. Like, oh yes, you approach, he roars, and then while he's doing that, you can maybe get a smack in or two. Also, what is this camera? Please, lock onto the foot, not onto whatever that is. There's just nothing I can do about that. I can't stay close enough to him while he's breathing the magic fire. I can't outstrafe the magic fire. I highly doubt it's going to pull a Sekiro and have me jump over the magic fire. I know I said I'm taking my runes and going elsewhere, but it feels wrong to just leave it as is. I mean? Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's really that easy. Other times, who knows? Ah, I see. So this was the hangout place. Dragon wound grease, some kukris. And is this a pass? Ah, yes, this is a pass. Right. Instead of heading directly to the place, we're going to check out the last of these islands and take a look around looking for maybe mines of some description, because I have a mighty need for more, I want to call them Titanites. What are they called? Smithing stones? Also, no lost grace upon the death of the great enemy. Just congratulations, you did it. Also, I can't tell you how many times I've died to the stupid crayfish lobsters and their highly pressurized water, where if you take a hit, you're taking a second one. We're sorry. Your recoil animation is so long, you're eating a second hit. I mean, I could always say, learn to toggle escape, Ratman. And I know how to toggle escape. It's just, I shouldn't have to use a glitch. It's been around since Dark Souls 1. To not get wombo comboed to death. That wasn't worth it at all. Also, can I point out how metal it is that with Torrent you can just walk over the skulls and they break? You're having trouble with Godric? Hey, remember, you don't have to fight Godric right now. You can go and look around the map a bit more. Maybe go find some more smithing stones for some upgrades, and then maybe come back when you're a little stronger. There's no shame in that. I died the first time quite horribly to Godric. And then I went on a long quest for upgrade materials. And then I came back and killed him on, like, the 4th try. Oh, these are demi-humans. Why are there dead demi-humans here? Oh, this is that, yeah, that cabin, the Revenger's shack. Yeah, this is where fake PvP happened. We'll go to Nightfall. I think I have enough for an upgrade. Well, enough for an upgrade. I have enough to level up. Even more strength. I'd like to take a moment to say that I have entered an arms race with the lands between. Life and death is dictated whether or not I get to stun an enemy or not. Does my weapon have enough stagger to save my life? If yes, everything is easy. If no, well... Ah, the poor fellow, gone perfectly mad. Love, revenge, the frenzied flame melts it all away. Look, Exali, it only becomes a problem if you start hearing Johnny Cash singing Burning Ring of Fire in the back of your mind as you are getting barbecued by Godric. Where's it? Godfrey? Godwin? Goddard? There's a somber smithing stone. If only I had a use for somber smithing stones at the moment. Actually, I'm curious. How many somber smithing stones have I accumulated? 12 tier 1s, 19 tier 2s, 9 tier 3s, 9 tier 4s, 2 tier 5s, a tier 6, a tier 8, and 2 tier 9s. Hey, you got him. Congratulations, Exali. A round of applause for you. While we're just exploring around and we don't need the extra strength, we'll pass on it. I feel like there should be like a mine or cave near here, but that poison swamp leads into the Albanuric's place. Yeah. Didn't the Albanuric chieftain give me something to give to someone at some point? Like, oh, look for this person and give it to them. Okay, I never ran into them again. Or I never ran into them. Yeah, yeah. That happens, Exali, whenever you're doing games like this. You end up with those moments where your heart is just going. And it's not even like the tension adrenaline rush. It is just... Ooh. I'll be honest, playing Sekiro, I got that really hard with the true owl boss fight. Alright, so who's ready to go to college? I'm going to Rea Lucaria. I'm going to be entering. Time to destroy my mental health. What? Portcullises are a spook? What? Oh, I hate that. Whatever. Right, well that's the way I'm supposed to go, so let's go ahead and completely disregard that and check the other direction. This should lead me over to where Bach is, right? I wish I could invite Bach back to the round table hold instead of leaving him out here in the dreariness. How you doing, Bach?
Bok, this seems ready to make a... Oh, please do...
We'll give him a warm welcome. Alright. So, we are now in Rea Lucaria. And, I get the feeling I'm gonna get zoned the fuck out by mages. What I mean when I say zone the fuck out, it is a fucking stick fighter term for whenever someone has a way of keeping an enemy at bay while still doing damage. Zoning. So they're going to be casting spells at me, and I'm going to have to be, like, dodge rolling my mind out. Does this shield have, like, spectacular magic resist? No, it doesn't. It has very bad magic resist. Right. Ice Rind Hatchet. A hatchet with a frost-coated blade, one of several gifts given by Castle Soul in the distant north. Known as Freezing Fog, the blade is thought to be a dragon's scale, inflicts a powerful frostbite effect, and it's got Hoarfrost Stomp on it. The Academy of Rea Lucaria. Oh boy, it begins. The whispering. I thought that only happens around midterms or finals. It would be really funny if at lower intelligence, the game, like, tracks your stats and it's just like, oh, you have, like, low int. Here's the game gaslighting you. Ah, yes, your magic won't save you. I brought a stick. I wonder if Elden Ring does that thing Dark Souls, the previous installments of Dark Souls did, where, depending on what kind of helmet you were wearing, you could take increased or decreased damage from headshots. I tried to dodge there, but, I failed. Yes. So these guys are expressly responsible for the weird mannequin things that I've had to deal with for half of my exploration. Good to know. I can't wait to make them pay for it. We're changing the time to nighttime because I hate myself, and maybe this place has secret bosses too. I will say I don't know if it's shown well on stream, but disabling the easy anti-cheat and playing in offline mode really has helped the frame rate quite a bit. Alright. Enough of the magic. The sorcery. I feel like one of these walls is fake. They're not, that was just some weird lighting. Gold runes. Hey, Dander, good to see ya. Yes. Been a member of the community for a while, and you've been pretty standout so far, and you're frequently around for the community days. So I figured I'd toss you the VIP badge. I mean, I have like 10 VIP badge slots, and I didn't have a whole lot of use for them. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Still involved in the proverbial arms race with all of the lands between. Oh god, he's touching me. What about you, Dander? How are you? I haven't seen you in a hot minute, I think. Release me! He ate my FP. Oh, so that's what they've been doing. Race Mimic. It's been a hot minute. You've been doing good? That's great. Is this where I sarcastically ask, are you ready for tomorrow? Are you ready for the Left 4 Dead Community Day that comes up every Friday? No torrent in this area. Felt like playing TF2, but you didn't have the motivation. Also, yes. Oh, that's wonderful. And that's right, viewers. Every Friday, I hold a community day where we play Left 4 Dead 2. You have Left 4 Dead 2 and you wish to play with your old friend Ratty. Oh, god damn it. Stop by on Friday. Join the Discord for the planning that goes into it. I hope you can hear the quotation marks. Oh, alright, that's fire and bounced. Why can they change? Why can they chain their grabs? You did get your first unusual, with an unusual effect on it. Well, I'll be. You know, I think I've got close to 1,000 hours. I think I have more than 1,000 hours in TF2, and I've never gotten an unusual. I have stranges, no unusuals though. Of course, it's been a hot minute since I played proper. Had a storm cloud over it with a rain and thunder on it. Also, your first box, lol. Sarcastically, beginner's luck. Sure. The game really didn't like me doing that. It froze for a second. Alright, we're gonna go that other way first, because I think that leads up to the archers. I say that as there is no other way. Oh, there was just a way. Why though? There was a path there? But my mind is not at rest and questions linger on. Was it an illusory wall that I didn't smack? Marionette soldier ashes. No, let's... no, I think not. Let's not and say we didn't, shall we? I feel like those guys were a little tankier than his counterparts. Alright, so there's an area down there. Yeah, sure, why not? Aryan Knight set. Got red on me? Yes. Yes, I do. Look, I've been rolling around in the pasta. Ho ho. More elevators, straight out of Stone Fang. Golden rune. Very red. You know, normally I love dogs, but Elden Ring dogs are bad doggos. They do not go to heaven. You just looted your first grape. Ah, yes, the Shabriri grapes. Why can I not light these sconces? Don't get me wrong, I hated that Dark Souls 2 had so many sconces. So much to light. For so little reprieve. Ash of War, Spectral Lance. The game, you know, I don't think the game particularly appreciates what I'm doing here, because I'm getting some weird hiccups, some stutters. And only now, after entering the magic zone, am I getting them. Elden Ring doggos deserve to be put to sleep. Man. Brave thing to say on the internet if taken out of context. What did I say that time? You haven't noticed the stutter? So it must be on my end. Ooh, that's spite. That's weird. But, the game doesn't like me being cheesy? Well, I don't like it being difficult. Yet, here we are. So neither of us are happy. It's like marriage. Doggos don't go to heaven. I've said far worse on stream, let's be honest. Alright, we'll ride that up and see where that takes us eventually. I don't like that. Directly above my character's head is some weird Star Scourge magic nonsense. Oh, I no longer care. I've killed your kind before. Yeah, you don't have the poise for this. That's not something you can win. Umber Smithing Stone. You have to be fair. Well... If we're talking about dogs going to heaven, do you think Cujo went to heaven? All right. Good to know. We definitely don't need to go towards the gears. What did that pup do? Oh. Oh, you don't know about Cujo. I could ride this down, but to what end? I mean, what I just said there could be taken out of context. Like, here's the problem about saying, like, oh, if that's taken out of context, anything taken out of context, Like, there's a lot of things that could be taken out of context that could be bad. Even the most innocuous stuff, without context, could be bad. Also, to answer you, Exali, I recommend Googling it. You won't see anything too graphic or terrible, but you'll get links to a movie, and that it's not quite a pop culture reference, but not by corpse. Guess I don't get your stuff. Because the movie I was referencing is very, very old. Ah. Grace. Even without FP, I can still do the barbaric roar and get the altered charged state. Alright, game, if you want to play like that, I'm okay with it. Have I ever mentioned that enemies get out of their, like, punishment states way too fast? Like, hear me out. Hear me out. I get that, like, oh, yeah. Like, maybe if I'd swung faster or fucking something, but, like... I don't get that kind of leniency. It's a trap. Oh, another pot. He's going to spin. Speaking of pots and spinning, where's Alexander spun himself off to? Open your door. You don't suppose he's gonna try and reposition? Through the wall. You popped to the pub for a few jars. Magicians and their weak poise. My brother in Christ, they have more poise than me. My poise is at 7. It is one of the few stats I have that is lower than my intelligence. I say that, but actually, like, almost all of my defense stats are lower than my intelligence by a pretty large margin. Like, I'm pretty sure if I put on some actual armor, took off the sword seal, and, like, you know, didn't play like an idiot, we'd be in for an okay time. But I'm playing like a jagoff, and it shows. I'm playing like a fool, like a clown, like a rube. Also, to explain what I'm doing here, by unequipping and re-equipping the Blessed Dew Talisman, I'm forcing the proc for the heal. Instead of it being over time, I'm just forcing it to go immediately. So by toggling it, by equipping and unequipping it, you can force it to repeatedly do its heal proc. You're not the first red wolf I've killed, buddy. There's always a third swing. I just didn't expect it to be a vertical one. Not horizontal. I expected horizontal, not vertical. Hackin' bruv. Healing wow. Yeah, that's kind of how my fight with the first red wolf went too. Alright, time for the rat's secret technique of run away. There's a whole lot of enemies between me and that boss, and, no, I don't care. I don't care for it. See what I mean? Memory stone, fantastic. I can't use it. All right, Exala, you're heading to bed. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope you get a full night's sleep. I'll catch you next time. I think I had more trouble with the other red wolf I fought because I did a lot less damage. You know, realistically, if I took this stuff off, could I put on a shirt? Yes, I could. I really wish I could test out my my stamina and how that was going, but you want the black mask? You want the Fur Affinity reject? Alright, so let's drop off our stuff. Because we did get an entire suit of armor. Sometimes I read the things for spells, sometimes I don't. It really depends. We're never going to use that. Armor of the Enchanted Knights that once served the Carrion royal family. The Enchanted Knights anointed by the Lunar Queen were all heroes of the highest honors, but fell into disarray with the decline of the royal family. I mean, yeah, that's kind of how that goes, isn't it? Very good. We're good. I really wish I could test my my stamina regen, because I want to know how good the turtle shield was for my stamina. I can't do that because outside of combat you have infinite stamina, so you can sprint endlessly. But like, that's good, that's great, that's wonderful. I wish there was a way I could, you know, expend stamina so I could see the regen. Oh, crabs. Why are there crabs here? Alright, I have a firm X to doubt that I need to run along the pillars, those, yeah, those are round and it's raining. I'm willing to bet that I'd slip. There is an item there, though, so that kind of shows that I can walk on these. Oh, no, I can walk on these. Alrighty then. Well, that... I know about the giant orb. We're just going to disregard it and pretend it's not real. Wait for orb to pass. And then follow it down so we can grab this item. It's going to be rubbish or something funny like that. Smithing Stone 5. I had a dire need for that. Alright, the trick is to be not greedy and not go for that item. However, I have problems. I survived! Oh, I can't believe that worked. That shouldn't have worked. Right, so we're gonna need to come back here. I doubt this is the thing to do, but... Cannot open from this. Alright, so there's one of those royal knights.
I wonder how I can get out of here.
I do wonder how I can get out of it. He buried me. All of my health. All of it gone in an instant. Gone. Reduced to atoms. Again, I broke his guard, and he got out of it very quickly. Is that... Do I get guard recovery like that? Should I be blocking more? Because every opportunity it's been like, okay, I can block here, has seemed like a suicidally bad decision. Also, you say probably, like, NPC invaders and whatnot don't hack stat. Oh, I jumped to my death. Goodbye, runes. I didn't need you anyways. I have the dumbest idea. It's not gonna work. That's not how anything that I'm about to do is going to work, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's going to be funny to me. Are you ready? That's it. That rune empty. Very good. Greetings, Moongrum. See how it doesn't one-tap me? That doesn't help. If I'm defending, I'm still taking damage. That spam attack is insane. Yes. It's almost like he doesn't have to worry about stamina in the same way that I do. Alright, so we're gonna do this the oldest of fashioned of ways. Need that. Don't ask how I did that, I don't have an answer for you. I had this plan, and then he was just like, I'm gonna die here. Okay, so there is no under. So I've wasted my time. Fantastic. Door's real. Oh, this loops around. All right. You know, nah, never mind. I was going to postulate on something, but it's better if I don't. Oh, hey. I guess I've entered a new year of schooling, as I now have one of the... I now have clothes. I finally received uniform. Suppose I should talk about it anyways. So, kind of a thought I was having is just like, I have the dagger in the offhand now, for reasons. Not a good reason, mind you, it's just there. But, like... I didn't heal. Don't worry, this is fine. For you see, we opened a shortcut. Not for backstabs. So, if I have the dagger in the offhand, I don't know if the crit transfers over. I think I heard somewhere it does. But realistically, even if I did put it in my main hand, it doesn't scale with what I have. Not in any meaningful way. So it's just kind of, eh. You've heard of the hit band Smashing Pumpkins. Their newest rival, Smashing Pots, is now on the scene. You can usually backstab them. I mean... I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to respond to that statement. I physically lack the capability to. I mean, I'm doing way more than 205 damage. I just can't tell. Stone sword key. Everyone saw that.
What a shame. He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
I don't know what kind of attack that is, but, alrighty then. Not the first time I've run into those things. I ran into those things over in Caelid as well. Certifiable bruh moment. I mean, yeah, kinda. It's just like, oh, I swung, and why can my attack go over their head? I'm pretty sure the model clips through their... the model of my weapon does clip through their model. It's just... I guess the hitbox doesn't at all line up with the model. Which happens. That's not super unusual for a Dark Souls game or FromSoft game. It's just funky. And normally it's the other way around, where weapon models and their hitboxes are wildly inaccurate, but in favor of the hitbox being larger than the weapon is. Is there a pumpkin head somewhere? More runes. Golden runes of Elden Ring are like consumable souls of the Soul series. I will say, I wish I could parry with the dagger in my offhand. Like, it's really dumb, but that was something you could do in previous titles. Glintstone Crown. I'm gonna go ahead and head off the Calamence now. No, I didn't know that crab was there. I just came around that corner and I saw an enemy out in the open. And then I saw a bush to my left and I assumed there'd be an enemy in there. And there happened to be a crab covered in crystals. Oh, hey, that's... Oh, that's there. Okay. I guess I literally am just moving up in the world. Change the world. My final message. Eat. Can I convince you to open the door? What is that Dr. Phil meme? Open the door or I'll throw rocks through your window. Do I have any rocks on me? Got bones. Got some explosive stones. But I don't wanna throw those. I have very few of them. So let's not and say we didn't. I hate this game's lock-on system and camera. Glintstone wet blade. Oh, that's for some form of upgrade. I guess magical upgrades on my weapon. A teardrop-shaped medium-sized shield embedded with blue glintstone carried by knights who serve the Carian royal family. Excels when facing magic or holy attacks. Just who were these knights preparing to fight? Okay, real quick. This doesn't have a skill on it. That knight shouldn't have been able to parry me. I've been cheated. I've been halved. I've been bamboozled. There's an academy staff. Again, this place would probably be great if I was at all into magic. Alright, for generalized exploring, when I'm not in a whole lot of risk of getting one shot, I'm going to keep the Dew Talisman equipped for the slow health regen to save up on healing flasks. And whenever I get to boss fights, I'll put on the... I'm disappointed the Belden ring. I'll put on the strength increasing one. That wasn't worth it. Took an arrow to the... Where did I get hit? Like, I want to point out, that arrow does not, in fact, pierce me at any point. Golden rune. We were down there earlier. Didn't I stand over you while you were falling? I swear, enemies go to the Daniel Day-Lewis school of method acting whenever it comes to their death animations. So their drops don't appear for super long sometimes. Oh, so you're approaching me. Foolish decision. More darts. Meteor bolt. Worthless to me. This is forged. Forged in fire. What channel was that even on? In a show I could watch? I don't know. I remember clips of it on YouTube. Let's see. Yep. Death. This way. That's the path. You know, one of these days, I'm going to land on a roof, and it's not going to be super sturdy, and I'm just going to fall. Alright, there's one of the marionette enemies. That one's clipped literally waist deep in the ground. Item over there. I could drop down here in order to get the item. Well, over there, but... we want to take a look around first to see if there's anything else. So is this place a love letter to that level in Dark Souls 3 where you're, like, going through the rooftops of... what's the place? What was the castle in Dark Souls 3? I don't remember. You see, in my defense of not remembering it, I remember Drangleic. I remember Drangleic Castle. I remember Boletaria. I remember the castle of Boletaria. And in Dark Souls 1... oh, imbued sword key. Can I use FP to open those golems? Not golems, the imps now? Yes, no, maybe so. Can you repeat the question? I remember Sen's Funhouse, which is kind of a castle. I remember Anor Londo, which is a really big castle. I also remember the Kiln of the First Flame, which is kind of a coliseum. Okay, Dander doesn't remember the name of the castle in Dark Souls 3 either. Which is fine. Alright, so I can drop down potentially on top of that guy. I can take this ladder down, which goes much further. We're gonna go ahead and jump down and look for more items because I'm a greedy rat. Not quite a loot goblin, but... look, we take what we can get. Cheeky monkeys. They're flying monkeys. So at the end of this, do I get to fight the Wicked Witch of the West? Or do I fight her sister, the Wicked Witch of the East? Do I get ruby slippers out of this? Or would, I guess, these be emerald slippers? I'm upset that that hit me. Like, I get why, but... I swear, the game is so much more merciful towards enemy swing angles than it is towards yours. Alright, I can drop down there. That is a survivable drop. There's even scaffolding to make it doubly safe. But at the same time, I kind of want to drop down over there. Ladder was. Is there a place to drop down over here? No, this is all going to be death. Alright. Alright. Chat, do you have a preference? Do I use the scaffolding? Or do I use the path of the ladder? Scaffolding path. Ladder path. I can choose. You see, I didn't want to choose. I wanted to push this off and shirk responsibility. So if things go poorly, I can blame chat. But, chat do be like that. Alright, is this even survivable? I'm pretty sure it is. It is. How did crabs get in here? Crab. Right. Full disclosure, we took the path of the ladder first because I can climb the ladder back up, drop back down onto that roof, and then take the scaffolding path. If I'd taken the scaffolding path, I would have been shit out of luck. I don't think I could make that jump. Yeah, there's no way I could make that jump. Greetings. Perish. Another glintstone crown. Looks like another one of those magic knights. I'd like to find a Stake of Marika or a Sight of Grace before tangling with another one of those guys. The ladder down to... Oh! I can kick this ladder down. Alright, where is this? Oh, this is that front hall. Okay. Alright, so that's wrapped around in a bizarre way. But, I'll take it. Oh, they can climb ladders. I'll be. Also not huge fans of physics. Oh, this is a page and not a knight. I like how the dudes in normal clothes have so much poise that they can just do their animations without problems. It's all crystally in here. Azure glintstone staff. So, are you alive? We fought a couple orbs of crystal previously. I guess this is the proverbial end of the life cycle for the whatever this is. Eventually the crystals overwhelm them and they sink into the ground. Hold on, these are big old windows, so is there somewhere I need to jump out? That leads down to areas I've been before, so... I have no use for this place. I don't... No, that leads back to the start of this manor. I don't need to go there either. Alright, I guess we go down, loop back through the Red Wolf. I missed the Red Wolf's name. I just called it Red Wolf because that's... I just referred to the last one I ran into as that. Because it is a wolf, and it is red. Nope, went backwards. Church of the Cuckoo. This is a church? Main Academy Gate. House Classroom. Debate Parlor. Let's go back to the classroom. I should really try to keep track of the name of the places I go. Alright, let's take a moment to clear our inventory. We don't have enough for a level up, which is pretty normal, part of the course. Spiked spear, weapon comprised of a spiked cylinder attached to a long pole capable of dealing strike damage when swung. The spikes induce blood loss. Weapon of the marionette soldiers employed by sorcerers. Neat. Glintstone staff. Azure glintstone staff. For speedy castings. Alright, one of the glintstone crowns bestowed upon Rea Lucaria scholars whose pursuits were deemed worthy increases intelligence to the detriment of stamina. The Carlos Conspectus is the oldest of the Academy's lineage of study, begat by the sorcerer Azure. Scholars who follow in his footsteps pursue the mysteries of the comets. Pursue mysteries of comets. And the Twin Sage. One of the glintstone crowns, yes, we get it, greatly increases intelligence to the detriment of HP and stamina. Scholars of the Twin Sage Conspectus were the elites of the Academy, permitted to study and excel in sorceries of all kinds. Robe worn by Rea Lucaria scholars of sorcery, those who dedicate themselves to the study of glintstone formed from starry amber receive this modest yet elegant deep navy garb after making their vows of virtue and austerity. But with extended life, one is apt to forget old vows. Got nothing from there. Alright, we're good to continue. Alright, so we need to do, what is it, debate parlor? I think it's debate parlor. Sorry, all of these places were, like, run together. Okay, so this is Rea Lucaria proper. Alright, yeah. So we can now use those shortcuts to get up back to where we were. Where we fought that knight dude, and then check out the alternative routes. I'm just gonna disregard enemies because they're not really worth fighting. Like, realistically, if they dropped anything, that would be interesting. But, again, they're sorcerers, and I am the exact opposite of what a sorcerer is, so... Alright, first and foremost, we're gonna take this teleport. Where do you lead me, oh teleport of shenanigans? Why was there a wolf boss fight in a debate hall? Verbal violence. Greetings, turtle.
Do you need anything?
Yes.
Oh, what have we here? Very well, let us both learn together. Heresy is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance.
I like this turtle.
All things can be conjoined.
I like him. His view on the magics is nice. Blessing's boon grants blessing to self and nearby allies, so that he had that before. I'm tempted to give him the other scrolls I've found so far. Speaking of scrolls, I want to go check in on Selen. And the other Selen. Because there's two of them.
There you are. Shall we commence the...
We don't care about the headless. They aren't a threat to us. Nope, she's still pinned to that wall, and... So, there were two Sellens. One's over in that other rune, this one's in this rune, and, I don't know, something tells me I've made the correct choice in not giving the other Sellen any sorcery tomes. Right, back to the debate parlor, because we have to go through the debate parlor to get to the rest of the map. Alright, time to run that same exact path again, and we're going to, instead of going through the teleport, which was a mistake, we will be going up the elevator. I think we're getting close on time. We are getting very close on time for the stream. We've got a little bit longer to go, and we'll have to call it. Ooh-wee. I hate this place. Didn't that turtle say that, what's-her-face was trapped in the library? I literally look like a... Oh god, my character is so filthy. What?
Hush, little Culver.
What?
I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure.
Well, through process of not elimination. Alright, rule of 3 still holds true. Okay, 3, unless there's a 4th one this time. Fantastic. Good night. Cutscene. All right. Fantastic. Good, great, excellent. I think I'm way over prepared for this. At least that's what it feels like right about now. Question, why are we killing her again?
My beloved, have no fear. I will hold thee. Patience. Ye will be countless born, forever and ever.
Also, we met Ronnie already. Isn't this Ronnie's mother?
Upon my name is Rani the Witch.
No, Ronnie, yes.
Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee. Foul trespasser.
Did...
Send word far and wide.
Aren't we allied with Ronnie?
Of the last queen of Caria, Renala of the Full Moon.
Full Moo?
And the majesty of the night she conjureth.
Magic. How are we getting on? He has a Bloodhound Knight? I couldn't drink fast enough. Also, for how we're getting, we're fighting Renala now. We're fighting Renala for some reason. We're also in oppositions to Ronnie. Hold on. Why are we... Hold on a sec. Ronnie. Ronnie, I have questions. Also, I'm supposed to be helping Blythe out, but I can't really help Blythe because... I guess I could talk to Sylvius, but I don't want to talk to him. He's weird, and he's creepy, and he turns people into puppets. Are we asleep? We are asleep. Well, it was worth a shot. Why did they give me a snap emote that has a single use, which is to call to Blythe when he's in the Mistwood? I have questions. I'm not gonna get any answers, but the questions remain. Should I not be talking with, like, Ronnie about this? Like, we've met Ronnie. We've sworn fealty to Ronnie, so why are we trying to kill Ronnie's mother? Because the fingers told us to? Because Gideon told us to? I don't understand. Like, is this a me problem? Or is this poorly explained? Or did I meet Ronnie way, way too early? Alright, heavy quotes. The trick is to listen for the singing. Please lock on. There we go. It was worth a shot. Alright, phase 2. Do I have to cutscene again, or does it go immediately into 2? Alright. That magic really hurts. I will say, whenever you're first starting, first encounter Renala, you're at a distinct advantage compared to afterwards, like the second and third attempts. Because whenever you start much closer if you get the intro cutscene. It's not the biggest of deals, but oh, screw it, we'll just keep this on for the first phase and try to hot swap out for the second one. One cycle. What? Excuse me, that hit me? Remembrance of the Full Moon Queen and the Great Rune of the Unborn.
Where did ye flee, my sweetings? Come out from whence ye hide. There are books and light aplenty, dither not. Come out, say I, or will ye be gravestones, to be better born anew?
So we got a great rune out of this. Also the Remembrance of the Full Moon Queen. Tune into the Erd Tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. In her youth, Renala was a prominent champion who charmed the Academy with her lunar magic, becoming its master. She also led the Glintstone Knights and established the House of Caria as royalty. Well, we knew most of that. Alright, Great Rune of the Unborn. Amber Egg clutched by Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. Great Rune of the Unborn Demigods. Perfect those who have been born anew. Children born anew by Renala are all frail and short-lived. Imperfect beings each and all.
Is it thy wish to be born anew? To become a sweeting? Reborn of my beloved egg? Be not alarmed, nor afeared. I would birth thee as a sweeting, fair and fine.
No, thank you. I think I'll pass. Also, I can't attack her. 69. Alright, so we've hit level 69. And, Yep. Let's try talking to Ronnie again. Ronnie, your mom's weird. Get the elevator going back down, so next time we have to come back here, it doesn't do weird things. Are you still asleep? Yes, you are. Well, we've done all we can. Maybe talk to EG or Or Blythe. Maybe one of them has something to say. We'll head to the round table hold in a moment, though. E.g., I beat Renala.
Greetings, my friend.
You don't have anything new to say. Also, I was questioning, like, oh, what about, like, crit swapping? This has the same critical as this, apparently. I guess that's how they get around it. That or I just have a really shit dagger. Right. Go ahead and head back to the round table, talk to people once again. Sorry, I got in here and I immediately felt something was off, something was wrong.
Well then, there's something I should mention to you as well.
What?
I'm thinking of leaving the Round Table Hold. Do you know of the noble Gold Mask?
No.
Though he was but a tarnished, living outside the lands between, he was a great scholar who foresaw the coming guidance of grace. And now, I hear he has come to the lands between alone to contemplate the Golden Order. I wish nothing more than to seek his instruction, and perhaps even help him in his research.
Alright, so he plans on leaving, so that's the subtle hint of, buy what you want, I'm going to leave.
May the Golden
He still has nothing to say. We'll check on the... Oh. Roger's bell bearing, spellblade pointed hat, spellblade traveling attire, and spellblade gloves and trouser. Roger's letter. We should probably read that. Letter written in a trembling hand. I forgot to tell you, but it seems Dee has a younger brother. I heard he lies in a deep sleep in the aqueduct beside the eternal city of Nokron, and it said he stood before the Prince of Death not far beyond that spot. In the aqueduct beside the eternal city Nokron. I explored that place.
Did you need some?
I can't ask him about it. Hey Gideon, we killed Renala.
Well, I see you found another great rune. Wonderful. You are a worthy fellow tarnished indeed. Make the journey to the capital, Leyndell, that lies to the east of the Altus Plateau.
You've been to the
At
Altus
foot of
Plateau?
The Erd Tree. The Two Fingers will deny your passage no longer. You may be our best hope. Find your way to the Elden Ring, for we are tarnished, and we must answer the call of grace. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north. Renala is queen of the Caria, and her great rune dwells within the egg she
No, it doesn't. Does it? I think it's best if I stop thinking about it. Alright, let's hand over Roger's bell bearing. I hate that. Well, whatever. He has a younger brother. The aqueduct near Noctron.
Only look, fine work, brave tarnished.
Oh, that was new dialogue.
The greater will is pleased. You have earned the right to become Elden Lord. Now, seek the Erd Tree and an audience with Queen Marika to become Elden Lord and restore the Golden Order. The Fingers expect as much from you as they do young Gideon.
Young Gideon?
Take this, a token of farewell.
Well, I'd love to see that.
Go forth. Become Elden Lord. Queen Marika is the vessel of the Elden Ring, carrier of its vision. A god in truth. But after the Elden Ring's shattering, she was imprisoned in the Erd Tree.
How does someone get imprisoned inside of a tree?
For shattering the order, despite her godhood. The Fingers speak. Marika's trespass demanded a heavy sentence. But even in shackles, she remains a god and a vision's vessel. Confer great runes to become Elden Lord and join Queen Marika as her consort. The Fingers have willed it so.
I don't like these fingers.
Now you may go.
So we can get her staff, which boosts full moon sorceries. Magic Scepter of Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. The glintstone is... No. The glintstone is known as the Carrion Blue, enhancing full moon sorceries. Only those of the highest intelligence may wield this. The finest of all glintstone staves. It requires 60 int. Or you can get Renala's Full Moon. Incarnate a full moon and launch it at foes. I think we saw her use that once. Uses the caster as a vessel to incarnate a full moon, then sends it floating towards foes. The full moon dispels all sorceries that touch it, and temporarily reduce magic damage negation for those it strikes. Queen Renala encountered this enchanting moon when she was young, and later it would bewitch the academy. Oh, I can buy her clothes. But these are all the same. When Renala, head of both the Academy of Rea Lucaria and the Carrion royal family, lost her husband Radagon, her heart went along with him, and then those at the Academy realized that Renala was no champion after all.
Now, Leto.
Okay. You know, the longer I deal with this main quest, the less I like those fingers.
Greetings. Are you here for spit?
No new dialogue. What about you?
Well, I took you no matter it's all out your arms.
No new dialogue. Can't upgrade anything. Well, I can, but there's nothing I want to upgrade. Do you have any dialogue?
I am pleased. Would you like the blessing? Would you like...
Yes, just hold me and get this over with.
You are so. Then good day.
Okay, you don't have any dialogue. I wish there was a way to tell so I didn't have to go through this animation. We're gonna take a peek down below real quick. As to why I keep peeking down here, I don't know. It feels weird that they'd had all these rooms to a place where I can't attack anything. Just to have it all be empty, you know? Oh, is there any PvP here? We got invaded here once. And we can use our weapon down here, but to what end? Looks like Blade is still hanging out there. Where do I activate this great room? Great rune? No idea. Magic or frost can be chosen. Neat. Well, apparently the north has opened to us proper now, so we can head to the Yaltis Plateau. Oh, right, I'm done with this thing now. Where was that dude who wanted this? Also, I should probably find my way over to Varric so I could talk to him. Yeah, Sorcerer Thop wanted back in. Let's go talk to him and see if he's gone insane or something. That strange woman who wanted Shabriri grapes we first encountered here. Up.
Back to learn another. Wonderful. So you found yourself a glint, but I certainly can't take it from. That key belongs to you. By rights, you should use it for your... It's true. But that's no excuse to him. Oh. Is this why Bluntstone's all... Head to the Academy of... Carry on with your journey. Don't bother holding yourself up. Head to the Academy... Carry on with... Don't bother holding...
I've already done at the Academy, and whatever's left in there cannot faze me. There's physically nothing in there that could have my interest. I don't No, I don't know why I did this. I shouldn't have traveled here. Yeah, nothing of note. All right. I'm going to take a quick run through here to see if I can, I don't know, do something with the rune here. I don't think I can, but find out. This place is full of illusory enemies. I shouldn't have come here. I forgot the way this place progressed. So the way this place goes is you climb all the way to the top and there's just nothing up there. I wonder if I'm getting Sigmired or Sigwarded. Where I'm taking that elevator up and down, but there's actually another elevator connected to it. Alright, so we've leveled up to 50 strength, which gives us 55 strength. Those equipped. We can push it even further to 60. We have plus 10 strength. It is a thing of beauty. We are going to end it here. Yes, we're going to end it here for the day. Thank you all so much for stopping by. There is a... Ooh. Oh, there's that frame drop. As I was saying, there is a YouTube where you can watch these as VODs. There is a Twitch where you can watch live. There is a Twitter where you can get live updates. There's a Discord where you can hang out with the community. As it is Thursday, tomorrow we will be doing Left 4 Dead 2 Community Day stuff, so yeah. And I'll catch you all next time. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and yeah.